Good morning, class 12th. In the subject mathematics, today we will continue our integration from indefinite to definite integration. So before this I explained all the methods of definite integration which are very valuable and will be used here also in the chapter next, definite integration. So the laws of differentiation and integration will remain same for this chapter also, definite integration, and therefore it is quite essential to know all the things that we have done during differentiation and indefinite integration, and the methods discussed, different types, will be used again in this chapter because it is one of the application chapter of indefinite integration. So today first we shall define what is the definition of any definite integration. So whenever we calculate the value of any integration in a given closed interval AB, then it is defined as definite integration and is written mathematically as integration a to b fx dx, whose value is calculated after evaluating integration of small fx as capital Fx as fb minus fa. So you can clearly see here x is replaced by upper limit and by lower limit, and then their difference in the integration of the function fx. So this way the law of integration will remain same as I told you earlier on, where fx is the integration of small fx with respect to x, and since fb minus fa is a fixed value, therefore it is itself a constant. Hence, after integration of small fx in closed interval ab, we shall not add any constant to it because it is itself a constant. Now, the example I have given here, evaluate 2 to 5 x dx. So, as usual, integration of x is, here integration is done in the closed interval 2, 5. So 2 to 5 x dx, a is 2, b is 5, fx is x, and integration of small fx, that is x, is x square by 2. So as usual you will integrate it. There will be no change in the process of integration, which is 2 to 5, written at the back of it the limits after integration, and then putting the value of x equal to 5, it is 25 upon 2 minus 4 upon 2, that is 21 by 2, and that is your answer. So the value is itself a constant, and that is why I told you we are not required to add any constant. And now I will explain also little bit this geometrically, and later on we shall make its application in the problems of areas. So any definite integration geometrically represents area bounded by graph of the function fx and x-axis between the ordinates x equal to a to x equal to b. For example, when I integrated directly 2 to 5 x dx, I got 21 by 2. This you can prove with the help of area, because itself any definite integration represents a bounded area. So which area is bounded I explained above, and it is equal to area bounded by graph of the function fx equal to x and x-axis, and clearly you can see fx equal to x is a line. Its graph is a line y equal to x as shown in the graph, and between x equal to 2 to x equal to 5, its line and x-axis represents trapezium ABCD, and therefore 2 to 5 integration x dx is area of trapezium ABCD, which is half AD plus BC into DC. This formula you have read in class 10th, and then it is half 2 plus 5 into 3, putting the value of AD and BC and OC and DC, which are respectively given here, and it is equal to then again 21 by 2 square units. So what we said, we have proved it also. So any integration 2 to 5 here, as I have shown, x dx is area bounded by its graph x-axis and between the limits x equal to a to x equal to b, and later on we can find it also. We can apply conversely this to find area bounded by figures. So this way today I have explained and introduced, and you have to make use of it, make a note of it, and tomorrow we shall continue with the chapter.